Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We are about to start. If you want to leave in the chat where you're from and from where you're watching us, we're so happy to have you all here. We have Steve Davis with us today. He's about to connect because he was having some issues with his camera. And he's going to talk about how to teach your kids to be financially independent. It starts with you. So we're super happy to have him with us today. So feel free to write down all your questions so Steve is able to answer them in the chat box or in the Q&A box. And if you can also answer the poll that appears on the screen, so we get to know you better and we know if you are already a Real Estate IQ subscriber and if you would like to have a one-on-one consultation of our services together with a free demo of our tools. So we are Real Estate IQ. Your deal is our mission, and we are deal maker and dream makers. So acquire real estate. Oh, hi, Steve. We can see you now. Perfect. So acquire real estate properties, build real estate business. This is the streamline your deal making process. So these are the solutions that we provide. We offer off-market leads. We provide daily updated lists Monday to Friday of motivated sellers to contact. Get the freshest data mined straight from the card houses. We also offer you EVA CMA. Run real estate comes in seconds with our renewed CMA. You can check each property's data, select the ones to compare, and get reports instantly. We also offer you custom leads mining. So if you're looking for specific area leads, look no further. We now provide custom off-market data mining all over 50 states. And last but not least, we also offer you virtual assistants. So one solution for administrative tasks, customer service, and technical support to grow your business. So let's walk together toward your success. If you're looking for more, please try our exclusive membership. So these are our social media accounts where you can follow us as well. We are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and you can use the QR codes that appear below of each icon so you can join us in our community. And you can also join us in our newsletter by scanning the QR code that appears on the right side of the screen. We also offer you a free 30-minute in-depth consultation of Real Estate IQ's services with one of our experts. So feel free to schedule it now by scanning the QR code that appears on the screen, also by answering the poll or by sending an email to bracenet@realestateIQ.co. This is a very short video of what we do. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us today. Moving forward to you, Steve.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Real Estate IQ. I certainly appreciate it and love your product. I recommend it to all of my students. It is extremely effective. I do want to start off by talking about, before we get into the presentation, talking about when I was a young parent and I realized one day, you know, you pick up that baby for the first time and you realize you're now a father or a mother, and you realize you've got to teach this baby how to survive. But there's a thought in the back of your mind that, I don't just want my son or daughter to survive. I want them to thrive. I want them to do well and hopefully better than I did. And it's a very scary feeling, especially if you're not in the financial position that you want to be in, because there's a sudden realization that you don't know how to teach them. You can't even do it for yourself. And I remember feeling almost depressed because I thought I was on the right path, but I wasn't sure because I hadn't achieved it yet. It turns out I was on the right path, but at the time I didn't know it. Raising children can be very scary. Again, especially when you're trying to teach them how to do something that you've never done. So let me share my screen now and go through how to raise financially literate kids, with the understanding it starts with you. You are responsible. See, during this workshop, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to get egotistical, arrogant, profane, even mean. And I apologize in advance. But you have to understand that I was in the Marines. I'm very straightforward, like a drill instructor would be, with the intent that, like a drill instructor, I may be blunt, but my intentions are to help save your life and your children's lives financially. This is a huge responsibility. So again, I apologize if I sound arrogant or egotistical or whatever. Just bear with me. The other reason that I do it is that it helps you remember the material. If I just come on and go, well, it's a good idea if you teach your kids, you're not going to remember any of it and you're going to be bored to tears. You need something to stimulate your dopamine. That's what keeps your memory, helps you keep the memories alive. So that's part of the reason why I do it. So please bear with me. Have you ever said, I want my kids to do better than me? I'm sure everybody has. Then ask yourself this: why are you telling them to do what didn't work for you? In other words, we were all given a map to success by our parents, our high school teachers, and our college professors. And we went out and did it. And here it is 10 years, 20 years later, we graduated high school or we graduated college, and 10, 20 years later, we're still not in the financial position we want to be in. But I want you to think about this. Aren't you telling your kids to do the same thing you did? Why would you do that? If it didn't work for you, why would it work for them? It's also a cop-out. It's a cop-out. What you're saying to your kids subliminally is, it's too late for me. I'm not even going to try. I hope you do better than me. That's a cop-out. And you need to be aware of that and stop saying, I want my kids to do better than me, because it's negative, it's a cop-out, and you're harming your kids. Here's what you do instead. The first thing you must understand is this: formal education, high school and college, will make you a living and nothing more. Self-education will make you a fortune. That's Jim Rohn from literally 50 years ago. And sadly, nothing has changed in our educational system in 50 years. See, high school and college teach you nothing about building wealth or getting rich. Want to know why I quit college? Because towards the end of my second year, I went to my counselor and I said, you know, I'm bored. All these classes I'm taking are boring. Where are the classes on how to get rich? And my counselor looked me in the eye and said, there are no classes on how to get rich. I quit school that day. Why was I paying what today would be 40 grand a semester to learn how to get a job? But that's what people are doing. Jobs are free. I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to be rich. So where do we learn this stuff? Who is responsible? Do we learn it from our parents? Here's the problem with that. How can a parent teach someone something that they have never done? How could your parents, were your parents multimillionaire entrepreneurs? Probably not. Then how could they teach you how to be a millionaire? The problem is that they don't know how to get wealthy. Yes, it is our responsibility as parents to teach our kids how to get wealthy because no one else is going to do it. It is because, so here's why this is so difficult. It's because we were all given the wrong map to wealth and success. You must have an effective map to wealth and success if you're ever going to get wealthy. See, what not a lot of people understand, well, let me just go through this. I want you to think like this. We all start somewhere and we'll call that home. And from the time we're old enough to walk, people start telling us how to get to peace, joy, love, wealth, health, and happiness, right? Success. They teach us how to be successful. First, our parents, and we start down the line. We start getting older, we start growing, time passes. Each of these arrows represents time passing. So first our parents, then we get into high school and our high school teachers tell us. Now here's a big challenge. Your parents tell you something like this: work real hard in high school, try to go to college, get a degree, get out, get a high-paying job with good benefits, scrimp and save in an IRA or 401k, work for 45 years, retire, and live off your savings. Does that map not sound familiar? It does, because it's the map we're all given. And this is why it's dangerous. Our high school teachers give us the same map. So we hear it from two different people that we're supposed to respect. It gets worse. Then you go to college. Guess what your college professors and counselors tell you? The same thing. Now you've heard that map from three different supposedly credible sources, so you believe it. And when you graduate college, you start out on that map. And you go and you go and you go. Scrimping, saving, putting your money in an IRA, 401k. You're going to save your way to retirement. But what will happen is one of two things that will wake you up. If you're lucky, like I was, I had a financial catastrophe. At age 27, they came in and they cut my pay, 20 grand a year. And that woke me up. I made a decision right there that I would never have a job again. Other people are not as lucky. They wait till midlife to wake up. They wake up on that 35th birthday or that 40th birthday and they go, 2 times 35 is 70. 2 times 40 is 80. And we're nowhere near what? Success. How many of you can relate to this? You're 35, 40 or older. You've worked this map and you're not in the financial position you want to be in. You're waking up. What most people do, though, at this point is they internalize it and blame themselves. They say, I'm not smart enough. So they get another degree or maybe a master's. Others will say they're not working hard enough. Some of you have taken second jobs, or you start working 60, 70 hours a week. That's what I did. I worked 70 hours a week. I thought I'd outwork everybody. Or they'll blame their attitude and motivation. So they take motivational courses, they work on their attitude, they just get motivated. The problem is this: all these things can do, more formal education, working harder, getting motivated, all they can do is get you to the wrong place faster, because the problem is not with you. The problem is with the map. Guess where the people that taught you how to get to success have never been? Success. Were your high school teachers multimillionaire entrepreneurs? No. I know your college professors were, right? No. I want you to think about this. Your high school teachers and college professors are now at retirement age. You know they're all retiring broke because the map doesn't work. 95% of Americans fail to retire successfully by age 65 after working 45 years. Think deeply about that. Are you on that path? 95% of you listening to this are. Some of you have gotten desperate and you've gone looking for help. And you decided to hire a thing called a financial planner. And you got your little financial planner there to advise you and help you build wealth. But you didn't do the math. All you had to do was Google, what does the average financial planner in the United States make? And you would have found out they only make about 100 grand a year. So here's what you did. You went to this person and you said, hey, I know you don't make a lot of money. I know you're not retired. I know you're not rich, but could you teach me how to retire and get rich? They can't help you. They can't help you. They've never done it. Never done it. See, the rich teach their kids differently than the poor and middle class. When you look at the 5% of Americans who retire successfully at or before age 65, they all have second streams of income. Second streams of income. I'll give you an example. When my son was 8, I handed him a copy of this book, The Richest Man in Babylon, on his 8th birthday, and a Star Wars X-Wing Lego. I said, son, please read this book. And remember, you have to build a second stream of income. Now go play with your Lego and have fun. When he turned 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I told him the same thing. You've got to have a second stream of income. 16, 17, 18, on his 18th birthday, I said, son, you're off to college, but don't forget, you got to build a second stream of income. By the time my son graduated college, he had 11 rent houses and $4,000 a month in second stream of income. My daughter has a second stream of income over $100,000 a month. She's 29. Again, I warned you. I may sound like I'm bragging, but I'm not. I'm telling you exactly what happens when you teach your kids the right things. See, some of you are going, your son and daughter must be brilliant. They must be hardworking. Yeah. So are your kids. So are you. The difference is not hard work. It's not brilliance. It's that my kids had the right map. While you're telling your kids to get a job, work for 45 years, live off your savings, I'm telling my kids, don't have a job, build wealth, build a second stream of income, and take only a job that you love, that's fun. You see the difference? Now, I want you to think about this. If you had been told from age 8 that you were supposed to have a second stream of income, do you know what you would have right now? A second stream of income. You were just never told, were you? You were never told. Because the poor and middle class want to teach their kids. They love their kids. They want to teach them how to build wealth, but they can't. They just can't because they don't know how to do it. This was said over 50 years ago. Never depend on a single source of income, a job. Invest to create a second source. So Warren Buffett was not talking about stocks, not talking about mutual funds, gold, silver, or crypto, because they don't produce cash flow. He was talking about income producing assets like real estate and other businesses. I suggest that you pass this on to your kids and start using it yourself. Now, how do you train your kids? You got to lead by example. It is your duty to succeed financially in order to teach your children how to succeed financially. Think about this. If you're in an airplane and a window blows out, pressure drops, the oxygen masks drop, whose oxygen mask do you put on first? Yours or your children's? Yours. You will suffocate and die trying to put the mask on your child. You put the mask on you so they see how it works, then you put the mask on them. It's the same with financial literacy. You've got to become financially literate if you're going to teach your children how to be financially literate. Here are the steps that I use to teach my children. 1, you got to create readers who self-educate. Read to and with your children daily from a young age. Let them catch you reading. I made it a point to make I'm not some reading freak, okay? I read an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most at a time. But what I did was I made sure that it was the time my kids were coming home from school. So when they walked in the house, I was sitting there reading a book. Let them catch you reading. Laugh and hug when you read. Make it a joyful time, and they will become readers for life. 2, well, it's supposed to be 2, sorry. Begin taking action on what you have learned. No, yeah, sorry. Begin taking action on what you have learned and do it together. Let them witness you doing it. Let them participate. In other words, as you decide, I'm going to build a second stream of income, and you start doing it, make sure you tell them as you're doing it. Stay focused on building a second stream of income. Begin buying income producing assets like real estate for yourself. When they turn 16 or older, form a partnership and buy an income producing asset together with your children. Here's what I did. The first thing I did with my son is we did a flip house when he was about, I think he was younger than 16. So you can start before 16. I think he was probably 14 or 15. And he had asked me for a gaming computer, which at the time was about $2,000. So I said, okay, how about this? We'll buy a house, we'll fix it up and sell it, and you'll get 25% of the profit, which will be way over $2,000, but you have to do all the work. You have to set up the contractor, you have to go inspect the property and all of that. And I put him to work. When we flipped that house, I think I made 30,000, he made 10,000. And he was able to buy his computer. But that's a simple strategy to get them to a point where they can see themselves doing it, which will allow them to do it by themselves eventually. Now, number 6, you got to understand your job's done at this point. Do not enable them. Do not keep doing it for them. You got to kick them out of the nest. Continue to build wealth for yourself, but make yourself available to help if your child needs it. But again, avoid being an enabler where you're really allowing them to do nothing while you do all the work. Make sure that they are actually doing it themselves. In conclusion, remember these 2 main points. We can't teach our kids how to build wealth until we do it ourselves first. And don't damn your kids to the same path that did not work for us. I remember my father, right before he passed away, he was young. He was only like 65, 67. He put his hand on my shoulder. We were at Disney World. And he said, son, I'm glad you're doing real estate because what I did didn't work. Do you realize how much control of the ego he had? How important that made me feel? He had to admit that what he tried didn't work, something that would be embarrassing. But he was so intent on encouraging me that he subjugated his ego and told me the truth. My question to you is this: are you willing to tell your kids the truth? Are you willing to look your kids in the eye and say, son, daughter, what I'm doing isn't working. I've been working for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. I'm still not in the financial position I want to be in. We have to do something different, and we're going to do it together. Do you have the courage to say that to your children? I suggest you do so. And then start educating yourself so that you can truly teach them how to build wealth. And this is really the reason why I created Total Wealth Academy. You need to understand that our $500 membership includes you, your spouse, and kids 18 and under. It's a family membership. Our intent is to teach the American family how to build a second stream of income with real estate. And if you are sitting there going, man, I have to admit, I have worked 20, 30, 40 years. I'm not in the financial position I want to be in. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. If you want to find out what works, please attend our free class. Just go to totalwealthacademy.com/class. You can watch it online or at one of our offices in Dallas or Houston, Texas, if you want to see it live. If you're outside of those areas, you can watch it online. But be aware, we are helping families. We have about 3,000 members already, and we add about 100 every month, maybe 200 on a good month. We're teaching families how to build wealth, how to build a second stream of income. And we don't just teach the parents, we teach the children too, so that they can do it as well. You don't want your kids living with you when you're 40. Okay, I'll open it up to questions now. Does anybody have a question about anything that I covered? I'm opening up my chat so I can see it. Hey, thanks for the kind words. Alex Sanchez, thank you so much. Thank you, Luis. How can I start with my 3-year-old? You know, this sounds crazy, but even when they were infants, I would always bring up the point. Well, I did wait until they could understand language. Okay, so they weren't infants, but I would let them know. They would ask, you know, how come you're home while everybody else's dad is at a job? And I would say, because I built a second stream of income. And I would just let little tidbits like that out. And then what happens is they start to get curious as they get older, and they start going, wait a minute, I like this idea. Can you tell me more? And Luis, they will start asking you. The one mistake, Luis, don't try to shove it down their throats. They will never listen to you. You got to let them, it's almost you trick them into asking, and that gives you permission to tell them. But if you just go out there and just force it down their throats, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So just start dropping little tidbits like that. As you build your second stream of income and you spend more time at home, start telling them, hey, the reason I'm here is because I have a second stream of income. Or when you buy them a Xbox, do you realize the reason we can afford this Xbox is because I have a second stream of income? Here you go. And just, that's all you say. Just hand them the box, let them go play. But do you see how subtle a sales pitch that is? They're going, huh, my friends can't afford one. I've got one because we have a second stream, and it implants it in their head. Any other questions? By the way, one other thing, I have a free copy of The Richest Man in Babylon. You can get it at this website. I'm going to put it in chat right now. And this is our entire reading list and 2 books that you can download in PDF format. Go to totalwealthacademy.com/books. But I'll tell you, even though I give you a free copy of The Richest Man in Babylon, buy a couple copies. If you got 2 kids, buy 3 copies. This is the most important financial book for children to read. You ready for this? And adults to read. It's phenomenal. And the fun thing about it is it's told in parable format, little stories, and they think they're just reading a fun book, but they're learning the rules of wealth. So everybody, please, it's completely free. You don't have to sign up for anything. Go to totalwealthacademy.com/books. Yes, Luis, keep your job until your second stream of income is double your bills. Let's say your bills are $5,000 a month, and I mean everything, food included. If your bills are $5,000 a month, wait until you have $10,000 a month in second stream of income, then decide if you want to quit your job. A lot of the members stay at their job, but not more than 30, 40 hours a week. Retirement is not what it's cracked up to be. I make a point on my radio show that retirement sucks. It is not fun. You know, you can only travel so much, play golf so much, play tennis so much. All those selfish things lose their luster after about 3 months. So if you're working at a job that you love, it's fun. So if you don't like your job, quit it and go find a job that you do love, even if it's less money, because you got all your bills paid by your second stream of income. Okay, Alex Sanchez, a resource book on my first fix or flip. Be aware, I'm sorry to give you a sales pitch, but my $500 program has all the fix and flip information you would need. As far as a book, I have not found a complete, they're either too detailed or not detailed enough. I suggest that you get a mentor to walk you through your first deal. I don't know what city you're in, but there's great real estate investor clubs like ours across. Oh, you're in Houston? Yeah, please come check us out. Come to our free sample class. Our wealth coaches will literally mentor you through your deal. You get that $500 covers unlimited question and answer with my wealth coaches. They'll walk you step by step by step through your first few deals till you know what you're doing. Any other questions? Okay, I guess that's it for me. Thank you very much for listening. I truly appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Stevie. It was amazing. Thank you for being with us once again.
Thank
I
you.
hope you
You
have
all
a
take care.